Friends, this is Antarctica, the coldest place in the world. In fact, it is so cold that the temperature here can go down to -90 degrees Celsius, cold enough to freeze your bones. Apart from this, Antarctica also has the strongest winds in the world, faster than even the biggest storms. Anyway, Antarctica is located at the bottom of the world. But its story is quite interesting because once upon a time, Antarctica was actually on top. Later, something happened that caused it to break away and drift to the bottom of the Earth, becoming the coldest continent in the world. So yes, friends, today's video is going to be about Antarctica. In this video we'll discuss its history and reveal some secrets of Antarctica that you probably didn't know before. Like always, this video is going to be very interesting, so watch it till the end. Geologic history. So friends, if we talk about Antarctica, let us first understand where it actually came from, how it was formed, and why it ended up at the bottom of the Earth. As we know, Antarctica is the coldest continent today. But it wasn't always like this. If we go back 300 million years, even before the time of dinosaurs, the Earth looked very different. There was only one huge landmass called Pangaea supercontinent, where all the land was joined together. Antarctica was also a part of Pangaea, and at that time it was very green, full of large forests, different kinds of plants, animals, and probably many more living things. So the question is, how did this green continent become the frozen land it is today? Well, about 200 million years ago, Pangaea began to split into two large landmasses, Laurasia and Gondwana. Laurasia included North America, Europe, Greenland, and parts of Asia like China and Russia. Gondwana included South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, the Arabian Peninsula, modern Saudi Arabia and UAE, and the Indian subcontinent, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Antarctica remained part of Gondwana for a long time, about 20 million years. During this time, even dinosaurs lived there because the continent was still green. But around 180 million years ago, Gondwana itself began to break apart, and all the continents drifted away. Antarctica moved southwards, eventually settling at the bottom of the Earth. Once it reached the far south, temperatures dropped drastically, and over time the whole continent became covered in ice. That's how Antarctica, once a green paradise, became the coldest continent in the world. Discovery. Although Antarctica formed millions of years ago, humans only discovered it much later, just about 200 years ago in 1820. This is shocking because by 1610, Galileo had already discovered planets and moons using his small telescope. He observed the craters of the moon, Saturn's rings, sunspots, Jupiter's moons, and even stars of the Milky Way. So we had seen space objects before we had even discovered Antarctica on our own planet. Still, long before its discovery, ancient philosophers and astronomers like Aristotle and Claudius Ptolemy had speculated that there must be a great landmass at the bottom of the Earth to balance the continents at the top. They even gave it an imaginary name, Terra Australis Incognita, the unknown southern land. In 1773, explorer James Cook became the first to cross the Antarctic Circle. He explored the surrounding seas and strongly believed a hidden continent existed there. However, he could not actually see Antarctica because of the extreme conditions. Finally, in 1820, 3 men claimed to have seen Antarctica with their own eyes: Fabian Gottlieb, Edward Bransfield, and Nathaniel Palmer. Fabian spotted it on January 27th, Bransfield on January 30th, and Palmer later in November. None of them managed to land because the Southern Ocean was too harsh, and thick ice shelves surrounded the land. Still, the existence of Antarctica was now confirmed. It was officially named Antarctica, meaning opposite of the Arctic, since the Arctic is at the top. The land at the bottom became Antarctica. The story of the first landing on Antarctica is also fascinating. Though it was discovered in 1820, no one dared to step on it for decades, because it meant almost certain death in those extreme conditions. But in 1895, a Norwegian explorer named Karsten Borchgrevink became the first man to set foot on Antarctica. He and his team landed, stayed for a few hours, collected some stones as proof, and returned safely. Interestingly, as soon as they reached Antarctica, his crew members argued over who would be the first to set foot there. In fact, one man was seen running from the boat just to be the first to step on the icy land, a funny moment in history. Borchgrevink later returned in 1899, this time with a team of 10 men, and they stayed in Antarctica for a full year. From January 1899 to January 1900, they endured extreme weather, including temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius. Surviving on the food they brought along as well as by hunting seals and penguins. They not only survived but also conducted scientific studies, becoming the first humans to live in Antarctica through both summer and winter. Race to the South Pole, but human curiosity didn't end there. Soon came the most dangerous race in history, the race to the South Pole. This wasn't like an Olympic race, it was literally a fight between life and death. The goal, to be the first human to reach the South Pole. Now, the Earth has two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. The South Pole lies deep inside Antarctica, making it far more dangerous than the North Pole. As explorers moved further inland, conditions became extreme. They faced something known as whiteouts, a phenomenon where the sky, ground, and horizon all blend into one blinding sheet of white. You can't see anything, lose your sense of direction, and end up walking in circles until you freeze to death. Add to that the fierce winds, and survival became nearly impossible. Still, explorers risked everything for the glory of being first. So friends, that was part 1 of Antarctica's story, how it was formed, discovered, and first explored. But there's still a lot more to cover, including the full story of the deadly race to the South Pole. I hope you found today's video informative. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. If part 2 is already out, you'll see it on the screen now. Otherwise, check out some of the random videos on screen, and don't forget to subscribe because I'll keep bringing you more videos like this. See you in the next video.